All right, so first thing we're going to do, instead of drawing two ovals, we're going to draw one this time. I'll come right down here. I'm going to start him a little bit big on the top and a little more narrow on the bottom. And I want to even get that more egg shape on the bottom. So I'm going to come back through because I got a little bit off. Okay, that's why I kept my lines fairly light. I've left plenty of room above it, so we got an egg shape right here. Try to get that egg shape right there in the center of your section there. I'll be a little bit tricky for some of you, but hopefully not too bad. Hopefully it's more egg looking than like a distorted potato. That's what we're hoping for. And then up here towards the top, I'm going to bring a curved line just like that. So I'm just taking a little curved line. It's not a straight line, it's a slightly curved line towards the top. We're going to move fairly quick through this because we want to get it done. Now, if I get too far ahead, you got to make sure you let me know, raise your hand or something. Because like I say, we are going to move relatively quickly through this. Now, I'm going to turn my paper sideways for this next part, and we're going to draw a long, tall, skinny C. So I'm going to come right here. I'm going to put a curved line that dips down towards the one I just drew. I'm going to curve it up on both ends, so I got a letter C right here. See that? Drew a letter C, but it's a tall, skinny one. Goes past the edge here. So that when I put it back this way, looks like a dude with little tiny horns or something on his head. Then we're going to get away from that part, and we're going to work on another part. We just need that set up for right now. In the middle of his face, we're going to do another egg shape, except this time the narrow part will be at the top. It's like that. So it should be longer than it is wide. I'm going to round my off just a little more. It's a little squared off. I don't want it so squared off. Nice round nose. Bring that up close. That will be the nose for this guy. So far, none of these shapes should be too tough. We've done an oval, done a curved line, we've done a letter C, and then we did another egg shape oval right here. Should be fairly easy. Now we're going to make a shape that's kind of like a letter S. A S is like this. You go just like this to draw an S, but we're going to stretch ours way out. So we're going to come from the side of the nose right here towards not quite halfway up in the bottom third, and we're going to bring an S shape. See that S? And I'm going to do one straight across from it. Does the same thing and goes the other way. Right now, that is one skinny little mustache. We'll fix that here in just a second. Basically, you're just drawing the letter S stretched out and then a backwards letter S stretched out. The important thing is they're about the same length from here to here, here to here. You don't want one clear down here and then one way up here. The shape right here at the bottom is not exactly the same right here and here. That's not nearly as important as making sure they're about the same length. Then we're going to come from right here, and we're just going to connect it up. Come over here and do the same thing, connect that up. And now he has a good sized mustache. I might want to change this line because this side got a little skinnier than my other side, so I'm just going to change it so it looks more like the other side. Inside his mustache was a little line. I'm erasing that out so it's gone. There's a line here and here, so erase that out. And I'm going to put a little bottom lip right here, just kind of a little curved diagonal line that goes right there. It's not very big, just adds a little bit of expression. The eyes on this guy will be different than what we have done before. All right, is anybody getting behind? Does anybody need me to slow down? All right, let's do the eyes. So we're going to put one little circle right here and one little circle right here for the eyes. I'll go ahead and color those in. Leave a little shine on the top. I could make that guy into a Viking just as easy as I could make him into a cowboy, actually. Just turn this hat into a big old set of horns coming off with a helmet, and you'd have a Viking. That's a little higher level of thinking when you start going, oh, I could make it into this, or I could make it into that. It means you're starting to use your brain a little more. I'm going to put a little S shape right here like that, and then a little S shape right here like that, and then I'm just going to connect them up. He's got a couple of big old eyebrows. I think I'll take those eyebrows and color them in black. If that shape's too hard, just make them rectangle eyebrows at a slight angle, okay? If you're struggling with that shape, don't get too hung up on it. You could always just go and make a rectangle and color it in black. While we colored that in black, let's go ahead and do the mustache in black too. That's going to take just a little longer. Make sure you fill it in solid so it's not scribble. All right, does anybody need another second to fill in the mustache? Okay. Just give me a thumbs up when you're done. Fill it in fairly quick. Okay, we're going to put some ears on him, so kind of across from the top of our nose. Over here, we'll go from the top over here, and we'll put on a fairly big ear right there. Backward C, come over here, same level, put on a fairly big ear over there. I want one's a little bit bigger than the other one, but it's all right. Put the inside of the ear on just like we always do, where you follow a line, a parallel line, then a little shorter line. Got some big old ears. Now the next part will be, it's not tricky, but you got to pay attention to what you're doing. We're going to form his hat, the brim of his hat. So we're going to go from right there where we had that letter C earlier. We'll go out a ways and bring it back right here above the ear. Go out a ways and bring it back right there above the ear. We got the brim of his hat drawn now. But you got to make sure you go over far enough. If you only go out a little ways, it's going to look kind of silly. Think in terms of a cowboy hat. It goes out a way, covers his ears, and then comes back in. Then we'll draw the top part of his hat. Just follow the line. We're just going to follow this line right here. We're going to just bring it up. Follow this line right here. Bring it up just a little ways so it's a little higher than right here. Don't make that too tall or it's going to look kind of funny. And we're just going to circle around and make a line just like that, so it's like a question mark. So if I turn it that way, it looks just like a question mark right there. So don't make that harder than it is. Just question mark shape, and then on the other side, we're going to do the same thing, curve it around that way. Okay, so now we got the top of his hat. So you got one question mark going this way, another question mark going that way. They just go opposite of each other. We're going to put a band around his hat. It's not the top of his head here. We're just going to come in here a little bit lower and put that band right there so that we can color in the top of the hat. I'm going to leave just a little white edge right here so it separates the hat, that top part of the hat, from the rest of this black area. So now he has a little band on his hat. You can see that little white spot I left right there, so it separates it. If you color it all in, it doesn't look like anything goes forward or backwards. It'll just be a big black shape up there. And of course, if we did that part of the hat, gotta do the brim area. So I start with that, and then I'll start working my way around this other part of it. Always do the outer edge first, so I get a good solid line around it, and then I come in and fill in the middle. Okay, I don't know who's doing all the whispering, but it needs to stop. I will find out, so it's just better you stop on your own. Okay, so that's one side of the hat. Come around the other side, go around the outer edge. And the reason I go around the outer edge first is so I got a nice clean edge and I don't color past my line or outside of it and get a rough looking edge around it. And it makes it really fast to fill in the middle part afterwards. He's almost done, but not quite. Raise your hand if you need any more time filling in the hat, so I know. Okay, that's quite a few of you, so you guys that raised your hand, just give me a big thumbs up when you're done. I'm just gonna kind of pause for a second. Now, if you don't quite finish getting that colored in, you can do it later, like tomorrow. We're gonna go ahead and move on. Right here, at the bottom of his chin, I'm gonna put a little oval shape right here. It's kind of like a letter C. So I come in here and draw like a letter C right there, right at the bottom of his chin. Then I'm going to make kind of a leaf shape right here. I'm going to go out down there like that and bring it back. Now I'm going to make another one very similar to it going the other way, but it goes behind the first one. And I'll just put a couple of lines coming off there like wrinkles, a couple coming off the one in the back. We almost got him done. And then I'll just connect a line going from here to the mustache right here like that. One going like that. That's just where it goes around his neck, and now he has a scarf around his neck, or a handkerchief. And one last thing, we're going to put a few whiskers on this guy down here on his chin, just by putting a few dots. Some going up the side of the face here. And then I'm going to just lightly with my pencil come across here and make this just a little grayer down here, just a little bit. You don't need to make noises with your pencils. Just put it down and make a dot. Don't sit there and go dink, 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 dink. Don't do that. You don't need to. Just touch your pencil on there. That's all you need to do. If your pencil touches it, it will make it a little spot. And then his handkerchief, I'm going to just come along here and just color that in a light gray. I don't want it to be too dark because I don't want it to cover up all my lines. And then if I hold that up a little closer, you can see we got a whole little cowboy drawn there. And hopefully yours looks somewhat similar. Doesn't have to look exactly the same, but as long as it's similar. Now I'm going to take and open my paper up, and I'm going to go to the back side. So if I have my paper open like this, you guys all have your paper opened up like this, just take it and turn it over like that so that things stay right side up and they don't get upside down. Now this next one will be kind of fun. It'll be a little different. Well, good job, seventh graders. That is actually kind of important, so I'm genuinely proud of you for doing well on that. All right, so the next one, this will be a fun character. But we're going to draw them lower on the paper because we're going to need some room up above. On this one, we're going to make a longer U shape, just like that. Okay, so I got a U shape down towards the bottom. If I turn it this way, pretty much a letter U. That way, it's upside down U. And then from the middle, I'm going to try to figure out about where the middle is. So I'm guessing right around in there. I've got a little dot I put there so I can kind of guess where the middle is. Just guessing. I'm not going to measure it out. I'm going to make kind of a heart shape that comes around. So, oops, and I'm going to go around this way. And instead of an actual heart, round it off at the bottom. Okay. Then I'll erase my little overlaps here. So here's our shape. So it's kind of an oval shape, but it's like you took an oval and bent the two ends up. Hopefully that won't be a very hard shape for you to make. Hopefully it'll be an easy one. And we're going to make a shape kind of like a 3 right here. It's like that. So if I put it up there like that, it's like an upside, or it's like a backwards 3. If I turn it that way, it's a forwards 3. Whatever's easiest for you, just make sure this point and that point pretty much line up. I'll come back to getting closer to it. Don't draw your lines too dark because there will be some changes coming. And this is nice because we got this little dip here, so we can just come here and put a little curved line right there like that and make a small nose. Not too tiny, okay? So it's proportional to this area down here. All we got to do is curve it up because we've already got our little dip down spot, so it's pretty easy to make a nose with that. We did something similar. And we did this little fat beaver on this side, but I may see we talked about that. So we did this on this side, but this is a smaller nose. Okay. Now we're going to put the eyes on this thing, and we're going to start from right here and go way up and come way back down. We're going to go way up and come way back down. Leave space between the edge of the eye and the edge of the head, edge of the eye, edge of the head on both sides. Make sure you got space there. Those are long ovals. These are taller eyes. I think you'll like this character. You're going to recognize what it is in just a second here. Okay, is everybody this far? Does anybody need another second? All right, now we're going to put a line right here. Looks like a big old antenna goes off to that side, and another one that goes off to this side. Now it looks like a big bug. Notice that they're slightly curved. I'm going to move over a little bit, and I'm going to connect them up. One right there. One right there. Now we got the basic foundation for a rabbit. So we just blocked in all our shapes. Got this big triangle shape here for the ears. We got ovals for the eyes. We got a little triangle for the nose. Got 2 quarter circles that form a 3. Got an upside down U, which is technically an oval if we drew it all the way around. And then we took our oval here and then bent up the edges. Okay, so all pretty simple shapes, but it makes, again, a fairly complex looking character. Right in the middle, and put a line straight down, and then put a smaller line, horizontal line right here to form a letter T, an upside down letter T, just like that. Then we'll go ahead and put a diagonal line from that, a diagonal line from that, and we got his single tooth right there for his mouth. Now you'll want to make sure that you're paying attention following along here, because we're going to actually create the mouth here, and it's going to come down below this tooth. So if you don't have room down here, you may have to do some erasing and make some adjustments. So I'm going to come below the tooth right here, just like that. And I'm going to work my way up. I'm going to work my way up this side, right beside the face, and then I'll extend it past, put a little parenthesis right there, and a little parenthesis right there. Then I'm going to color that part of the mouth in black. It's an opening. Now, if you've drawn this right below his mouth, right here, it's going to look pretty skinny right there. We're going to adjust that here in just a second. That's not a very thick bottom lip, so we need to change that. For now, we're just getting the mouth drawn. And tomorrow, hopefully this will be more fun for you, because you'll get to change things around and do kind of your own thing tomorrow. So right here where that bottom lip would go, I'm going to erase the bottom right here. That line that goes along the bottom edge. So now I've erased that. And I'm going to put a line that parallels the bottom of my mouth. And it's going to form the bottom lip. I can bring that up in a little ways, put a little curve on it right there, and then bring that in together. And now he's got a decent sized bottom lip, and it doesn't look a little teeny tiny skinny, too skinny. You don't want to make it gigantic like he got stung by a wasp either. All right, does anybody need another second? Okay. We're going to work on his ears next. Do that in just a minute here. All right, for his ears, we're going to go to the inside. That's this line and this side. This is the inside lines. This is the outside lines. We're going to come down here. We're going to draw a parallel line that goes all the way up and comes near the top and stops. And we're going to do the same thing on this side. Parallel line that goes all the way up, almost to the top, and stops. Just like that. But it doesn't go all the way up and connect. Most of the way up. Turn your sound off. Okay, and then we're going to draw a shorter line that parallels the other side slightly down from the top of the line that we just drew, and we're only going to draw it about 3/4 of the way down and stop. We don't need to bring it all the way back down to the bottom of the head, or the top of the head, I guess it'd be. Bottom of the ear, top of the head. Doesn't need to go all the way down. What we're doing now is adding the details. We have our foundation. Hopefully our proportions are right. Things are balanced. Now we add the details. Okay. So we'll come in here and we'll put his eyes on him, and we're going to go with a curve right here, curve right here. And we'll give him a great big shine there and a little one here. Big shine there, a little one here. Color those eyes in black. I've changed my mind. I'm not going to put the little one on the bottom. I'm just going to leave the big one on the top. Like that better. Now he's got two big eyes. This will come in handy next month, or let's see, not quite next month. It'd be a month and a half from now when Easter rolls around. I'm going to put a couple little horizontal lines right here, just right on his muzzle. Just for expression, like he's got his little nose scrunched just a little bit. And then thin eyebrows above his eyes. One right here, just a couple of curved lines. Like that adds a lot of expression to it. And here in a second, we're going to make him a fuzzy bunny. Right now, he doesn't look like a fuzzy bunny. He looks like a bald bunny. All right, the part above his head, between his ears, top of his head, I'm going to erase that off. I'm going to erase the lines on either side of his head and make them lighter. And I'm going to erase the lines on either side of his cheeks to make them lighter. Hopefully you didn't draw them too dark. So when I do that, I can still kind of see where my lines are, but it's a lot lighter. That's kind of what my goal is. I know where they're at, but I don't have a big old dark line there. Now we got to add some fuzzy bunny to him. We'll keep it easy on the top. We'll come up here, bring it up, just kind of bring it over. And what that looks like is a number 3 and then one more. Or you can look at it this way, like it's a lowercase m right there and just an extra one on the end. But make sure they curve with the head. They don't go straight out from the head. They don't go straight up. They don't go straight horizontal. They flow and curve. Now on either side of his head, we're going to put a little hair, but this isn't a lot. We're going to just follow around the side of the head. We're going to bring one that comes out, and then another one that connects right onto the edge of the cheek. So we just go out, bring it back like a check mark, and then just blend it into the side of the cheek right there. What we do on that side, we do the same thing on the other side and bring that out on the other side. Just like that. So we don't have a whole bunch of hairs going zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. Fewer is better, less is more, as they call it. Then around the side of his cheek, we're going to do the same kind of thing. We're going to go out and back, out and back, and blend it in right under his lip, so there's only 2. 1, 2. I'm going to turn it this way, do the same thing. 1, 2, bring it right under his lip. So when it's done, got hairy little puffy cheeks. But I didn't go and draw a zigzag, 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 zigzag like he just licked a light socket or something. Doesn't need a zillion hairs. What's missing? Thank you. This one, we're gonna just put 3 on each side, put 1 there, 1 in the middle, 1 on the top. Ooh, that's a long one. So we'll make that one long. And I'm gonna shorten that one up because it's a little too long. Okay, he's got whiskers on him. I'll make this one just a little bit longer so it's like the one on the other side. And then this top part of his head, color that in like a medium gray. Don't color inside your eyes. Leave his nose for right now. And then his cheeks, where the whiskers and all that is, leave all that white. Then on his ears, the part where you did the parallel lines, go ahead and color that part in gray and then just let it fade out as you get to the bottom. Here. Take a little time, be careful with it so it doesn't look like scribble and really nasty. When you're done, a pretty good little rabbit drop. So when Easter rolls around in April, you'll be able to draw a halfway decent rabbit. Okay, for the next drawing, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw a big oval like this. It's a big fat one. Draw you a big fat oval like that. Then on top of it, draw a big wide U like that. This is going to obviously be something with a large face, stocky face. And that's the last hint I'm going to give you. Turn that into something. Turn that into a face. I'm not going to do it for you. Okay. So that's up to you what you're going to turn that into. It could be an animal, could be a person, whatever, but make sure it's something that is blocky and stocky. That would not be the time to draw like a stork face because they got a little long skinny beak and a little skinny head. It wouldn't be the time to draw something like, oh, Ichabod Crane, who has a long skinny head and a big Adam's apple. That would not be the shape to start with for a person like that. You got to think a little bit. What kind of person or what kind of animal's got a stocky, blocky, round type face? That's where I want your imaginations to come out.